American half pound of 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Adrienne Madoc.
And I'm Steve McGowan. We're in a band, The Beef People. We released a single in 1986 on our own label, Zub Records. We are record collectors and passionate, especially about the expression of pop music perfection that is a single recording. Exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast. And today we have our episode 024, and we have a lot to get into today.
Yes, we do. And we've got sort of LA royalty that we'll be talking about today.
Yes. The single we're talking about is the song Our Lips Are Sealed, best known in America through the amazing band The Go-Go's. We are also going to talk about the English band, the Fun Boy 3, who did the same song and also had a single with it.
Yeah, it's interesting because you've got co-songwriters that each had their own bands record versions that are very different. Very different.
Completely different, yes. So most people are familiar with the Go-Go's. One of the things we're going to talk about more than a few times in this podcast is the book by John Doe of X. It's called Under the Big Black Sun, the book. And it's kind of a collection of stories.
Yeah, like personal essays,
Yes.
personal, like mini memoirs,
Right. Mm-hmm.
sketches of life.
It's not all written by John. It's all the different chapters are written by different people, and it's about the scene back in L.A. coming up in the late 70s, about X, about bands like the Blasters and the Los Lobos and the Germs and everybody that was coming up. And the Go-Go's are a central part of this. They are a band that really has the punk cred.
Right. They're the real thing.
The thing we're trying to make a point about is that, we were just watching the video for Our Lips Are Sealed, and, the Go-Go's are all dressed up and looking cute for MTV and, bouncing around in a convertible.
They're girls, and they sing, and they play, and they're peppy,
Yeah.
but
they're the real deal.
Born in the hardcore scene.
Yes, and they could play, and they could kick butt.
And write songs.
Yes, good songs. So we're going to talk about that. The song Our Lips Are Sealed, released by the Go-Go's in 1981. They had supported the Specials, the ska band from England, the Specials from Coventry, when the Specials were touring the U.S., and Jane Wiedlin of the Go-Go's and Terry Hall of the Specials had a little thing going.
Because sometimes when one band and another band have members that go very close.
When they love each other a lot.
Yes, there's a special time.
You kids know what we're talking about. And so
we're talking about songwriting.
Exactly. So Terry had a girlfriend at home, but they ended up writing this song together, Our Lips Are Sealed. So the first thing we're going to do is listen to the Go-Go's version, which is the one that is our go-to version. It's from 1981. It's on IRS Records. I think it was their second single.
And it was their first chart hit.
Yes, yeah, and it was all over, as we remember, it was all over MTV.
Couldn't escape it.
No, it was a big deal back when MTV played videos. A lot of you kids will not remember that, but it was big then, and it's a great song. And we're going to listen to their version of it, 1981, from Beauty and the Beat. The Go-Go's, Our Lips Are Sealed.
Can you hear them? They talk about us.
So there's the Go-Go's. There's a lot to like about the single. Adrian and I were discussing killer bass line, great hook. The two different vocals stand out very well. It's it's a fun song. It really moves along and it really grabs you. Really good pop stuff. Jane Weedland was the rhythm guitarist, and she gets the little
Hush.
yes, that part in the middle.
Wah, wah, wah.
She is the pixie in the band, obviously. So it's a great song. Now we want to go right ahead and talk about the Fun Boy 3 version. The Fun Boy 3 were a band that spun off from the Specials when they broke up. It was Terry Hall and Linville Golding and Neville, the three of the Specials. When there were, I think, 7 guys in the Specials. And they have a completely different take on this song.
No, this is not ska.
No, it's not ska.
And it's different from the Specials, and it's different from
it's definitely different from the
prior
Go-Go's.
band,
Yes.
and different from the Go-Go's take on
And
the same song.
this was a top 10 hit in the UK. It didn't do much over here. It's from the album called Waiting by the Fun Boy 3, and it did very well over there. We watched the video, and it has a lot of big hair in it.
The Moose budget must have
it
been
must
bigger
have
than
been really over the top.
the camera crew budget.
Yeah, but so let's listen to a little bit of that. The Fun Boy 3, it's from 1982, I believe, doing Our Lips Are Sealed.
Can you hear them talking about us, telling lies? Is that a surprise? Can you see them, see right through them? They have a shield, nothing must be revealed. It doesn't matter what they say. No one listens anyway. Our lips are sealed. There's a weapon that we can use in our defense. Silence. So just look at them, look right through them. That's when they disappear. That's when we lose the fear. It doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play, our lips are sealed. It doesn't matter what they say. No one's listening anyway. Our lips are sealed. Hush, my darling, don't you cry. Guardian angel, born with their lies. Can you hear them talking about us, telling lies? Well, that's no surprise. Can you see them, see right through them? They have a shield, nothing must be revealed. It doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play, our lips are sealed. Pay no mind to what they say. It doesn't matter anyway. Our lips are sealed. Our lips are sealed.
So there's the Fun Boy 3. We were talking about Terry Hall, and he just looks like he wants to kill himself in this
This
video.
is ominous. This is you've got the joyful
I
expression that
know.
is the Go-Go's version, and all the joy is just had the hell beaten out of it.
Completely sucked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's straight faced and joyless.
Yeah, in the video, he looks like Robert Smith's evil twin, and he's about as gloomy. But the song has a cool approach to it. It's just so downcast after hearing the Go-Go's version.
Yeah, it's sort of bipolar.
Yeah.
If you put them, since we're kind of featuring them as A side and a B
Yeah.
side, you can sort of see
Yeah.
one's the smiley face side, and one is definitely maybe not the frowny face, but it's the straight face.
Yeah, the Mr. Yuck face, maybe.
Yeah, man.
So,
No, but I don't think it's yucky
Well,
sounding, but it's
no.
not got the
yeah.
it's not life affirming.
no, they don't seem too happy about it, but still comes through as a great song,
Right.
Which is really interesting. The one thing we'll do now is show you how an arrangement can ruin a great song. We have to do this, kids. I'm sorry. We're going to play you a little bit of the 90s version of Hillary and Haley Duff doing this song. And I don't know what the hell's going on here. But
And I got to tell you, I was sorely disappointed when the video came on because I thought it would be maybe something related to the presidential campaign.
yes.
It's like, oh, it'd be nice to see Hillary again.
Yeah. Wrong Hillary.
Wrong Hillary.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah,
Wrong Hillary.
Exactly. So this is Hillary and Haley Duff doing Our Lips Are Sealed, and we'll just listen to a little bit of it.
Can you hear them? They talk about us, telling lies. Well, that's no surprise. Can you see them? See right through them. They have no shield, no secrets to reveal. It doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play, our lips are sealed. There's no weapon which we must use in our defense. Silence, spreading rumors, so far from true. Dragged up from the underworld, just like some precious pearl. It doesn't matter what they say. In the jealous games people play, our lips are sealed.
Well, kids, an arrangement can ruin a good song, can it?
Sorry.
Every rule has something that proves it wrong. Okay, we're done with Hillary and Haley for now.
Who would you like to hear cover Our Lips Are Sealed?
I was thinking about it, and I think I know. Our friends, the Posies. I would love to hear them do that.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I co-sign that.
Yes, yeah, that would be a killer. We'll have to slip them an email, see if they'll read it. I know they can play it. So,
Recommendations?
yes. Me or you?
You go first.
Okay. Well, I talked about it earlier. The John Doe book. It's called Under the Big Black Sun. A collection of personal essays of the pre-hardcore scene in L.A. Before the Black Flags and those bands came along. A little bit of older skewing scene, more artistic. People doing things, just on their own. L.A. was a cheap place to live at the time, downtown, and people just going crazy and making their own clothes and making their own music.
Sex and drugs and,
Yes.
and eventually rock and roll.
Yeah, it was all there. And there's some sordid stories and there's some fun stories. And it's a good book. I would definitely recommend it. And your recommendation?
My recommendation is going to be Hillary Duff related, which is she currently stars on the TV Land series Younger, which is entirely dedicated to women of a certain age, starring Sutton Foster as someone who has to return to the workforce and is posing as a 27-year-old, and her boss is played by Hilary Duff.
You're making this up.
I am not making this up. It's something that was like written for, I don't know, like an Eileen Fisher clothing catalog. It's like entirely, it comes with packages of estrogen for estrogen replacement treatment. I think, scratch and sniff is part of the press pack that comes out with this.
Binge watching ahead.
Younger.
Now, I thought Hilary Duff had a cooking show.
She may.
Okay.
She can do anything.
Well, who doesn't,
She's super talented.
Well,
she plays a talented editor,
Well.
and I'm glad to see that she's got a second career because covering the Go-Go's was not her chosen field.
And we kind of got away from the Go-Go's here, but the whole podcast is about really them and the Fun Boy 3. And we want to give props to the Go-Go's. They're the real deal. They put out a lot of great records. I know we'll be talking about other singles of theirs. Usually, as we've discussed before, the Singles Going Steady podcast can be something of a male-dominated area, and we don't always like that.
And their first single was on Stiff Records.
Yes,
so,
I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, so they were, they're legit.
Yeah, that's, the badge of honor for us. Go-Go's, Fun Boy 3, specials, all good. Hilary Duff, Haley Duff.
Not so much.
Not so good. So that's our podcast for today. 024, Our Lips Are Sealed in its many iterations, mostly the Go-Go's. And I hope you've enjoyed talking with us, and we will see you soon.
Soon, y'all. To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records.
Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.